Welcome to Ballistic High Speed, where we combine two of the greatest things on planet Earth, super slow motion
and firearms and firearm physics. I'm Adam.
I'm Bryce. Join us on our journey for Ballistic High Speed. Welcome back to Ballistic High Speed. Before we get into the new episode, we want to say thanks to all of you that have been patient and supportive while we've come up with some new content. It's definitely been a minute, but you know, careers and such. So tell us about what is our new episode going to be about?
So today we're going to focus on a 12 gauge shotgun. This is a Remington 870, my old trusty rusty one. You'll probably be able to see all of the surface rust on it, but it still shoots just fine. This is a smoothbore barrel, even though it looks like your typical rifled deer barrel. It is in fact smoothbore. So we will shoot rifled slugs, and then we also have some 9 pellet double-aught buck, and we have some birdshot. So we will capture them coming out of the muzzle, and then, as requested in the comments over and over, watermelons.
Yeah, shotguns have been a #1 request, it seems like, at least over the comments we've seen. We've done a lot of handguns, a lot of rifles, a 50 cal, things like that, but no shotgun material yet. So I figure it's summertime. Watermelons make a great target. They've got a hard exterior, soft, gushy interior, so that should pretty well demonstrate the difference between these rounds. And of course, we've got 2 different Phantom cameras for all sorts of slow-mo goodness. And yeah, I say let's get to it.
Let's do it.
On you, Adam.
Weapon is hot. In 3, 2. Holy smokes.
Ah, nice.
Weapon is clear.
So the nice thing about shooting in a nice sunny day is we've got pretty crisp frames in terms of shutter speed, but you can very clearly see the slug there.
Cannons are the actual predecessor to like shotguns and firearms.
Yeah.
It is just amazing to me. That looks like a cannon blast.
That's a pretty good shot, pretty good aim.
Thank you.
It almost looks like a meteor strike. Like if there was a meteor big enough to do that to the earth, I feel like that's what it would look like. You can see all the individual droplets peeling off. Look at all those seeds.
Yeah.
They all separated. I think because it was sitting out in the sun long enough that it got like mushy enough that it could separate easily. If it was like a cold watermelon, it probably wouldn't have done that. So now I'm curious what the buckshot's gonna do. Because after like 10 to 12 feet, I feel like they're gonna be individual pellets, right? You feel confident about your aim without a sight?
Yeah, that was the one I was worried about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the other two.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's do it. Weapon is hot.
All right, on you.
3, 2. Wow. That was more than I thought. Weapon is clear.
So this one, a lot of gas gets in front of it. Not nearly as much flame, but you can already see all those individual pellets and pieces of powder and wad and all that stuff.
And right there at the end, you can kind of see everything.
Alrighty, so again, 6,400 frames a second, and this is double-aught buckshot.
Without having seen it yet, that did more damage than I was expecting.
The package said what, 9 pellets?
Yep.
And you can see each individual splatter. Yeah. That's a good freeze frame right there.
Here comes the wadding.
Nice. Yep. And you can see them coming out the back.
Yeah, they stayed in a pretty good group.
Yeah. And it transferred that energy so differently. because that's why we have a lot larger chunks, it looks like. With like hydrostatic shock, obviously you're familiar with that, with like liquid bodies, depending on like your angle and speed, it will transfer energy differently through fluids.
There's also a lot less like vaporized water.
Oh, you're right. So now I'm wondering, like with birdshot, we're obviously going to get even more individual splatters on the front, but I'm wondering if they're each going to have enough energy to get through the back and still make all those different exit points.
I think they will.
You think so?
I think so.
Okay. Because we have roughly the same overall energy, just distributed into a lot more points. So.
And they're lighter.
True, much lighter.
Yep.
Roughly same speed, a lot lighter.
Well, it's one way to find out.
Let's find out. Load up the watermelon.
Weapon is hot in 3. Weapon is clear.
You can see it's one piece here, and then by the end of the frame,
Right there, the wad is starting to break apart.
What's cool is I think we're getting a little bit of a shock diamond there hanging around.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. So each of these have had their own unique little like explosion and flare behind it. Oh, look at that.
Wow.
It's like
a little high, but yeah.
I mean, looking at the top, I'd say like 90% of them hit. Really close, all those tiny little impacts.
Down on the bottom.
Yeah.
Yep.
Each one has its own, oh, and it's like ripping along the side of the skin. And look, no exit holes.
Nope.
I mean, some are like coming out the sides, but as far as through the back.
I think a few went kind of over the top where it didn't get sucked in, but yeah.
Did I finally have an accurate prediction?
I think so.
Damn. Well, look at that cluster though. But you can imagine like 30, 40 yards away,
Right.
That's gonna be pretty
It'll
big.
really
That's
start
why it's
opening
useful
up.
for birds. But for watermelon, it's just good enough. The watermelon only has 1, 2, maybe 3 splits that actually went all the way through.
Yeah.
Whereas like, and I'll put a comparison on screen, but the slug, everything split. And then the buckshot, a little bit less, and this only has a couple. If you think about a slug's overall energy, in terms of fraction of that energy it takes to get through the rind, it's probably not very much. But for each BB to individually get through it, that's taking a lot of energy. So in terms of like testing comparison, they're all from the same distance, same choke amount, even though it's not choked.
That's about as basic of a baseline test that you could get.
It's almost like each, it's like each pellet carved its own path.
That looks like a definitive
Oh yeah.
trace back through there.
This is definitely part of it because you can see trail, trail. That's pretty gnarly.
Look, there's one of them.
Oh, they're that small?
Yeah.
Wow.
So right through here, you can see right where a BB was ripping. And we know this now because there's the BB.
So that one stopped. So that must have been the front.
Yeah.
Because you can see it's like a hole.
Yep.
And each of these, they're like curving paths in different ways.
Yeah.
All right, well, we've got a 4th watermelon and we only have 3 different types of ammunition. So I say let's just go ahead and give it the maximum amount of destruction that we can, which is a slug, but much closer.
Yep. And it's nice and long. So that
Yeah.
slug's gonna be in there for a while.
True.
I mean, I'm gonna get my muzzle, up to here.
Because you don't want it like to where air can't escape, right?
Correct.
Because that's risky, dangerous.
I could go closer than this, but
But we also don't want smoke to cover up the impact. We want that sweet spot, right?
Yep, so somewhere in here, we'll be safe. We should be able to see it all. Slug will be in there for a while.
Definitely eye protection, ear protection, as always. All right, let's do it.
Let's do it. Now that we've got the shotguns out, it's a good time to show you guys what I do at Renegade Refinishes. I take rusty old shotguns like this, and sometimes new firearms, and I make them nice and new like this one. So if you are interested in the process of how I Cerakote things, I also do powder coating and a lot of refinishing projects. So if you're interested in following along on that, I'm starting a YouTube channel. We'll link it in the description below, so you can head over, follow it there, and then you'll get to see the whole process. I'm also on Instagram, just as Renegade Refinishes, and Facebook as well.
All right, on you.
Weapon is hot. In 3.
Oh God.
Weapon is clear.
Table.
That is actually everywhere.
I'm good over here. All right, let's go ahead and review. You got a little something.
There's a lot of something.
Oh wow, that's so close that you can't even really see that initial. Oh, actually you can, right there, that little splat.
Oh yeah,
that's the slug. But it just looks like an atomic bomb going off behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just annihilates, kicks up all those leftover seeds off the table. And this is the first time we've seen it in your hands. So you can see the time delay between when your hand reacts to the force coming back, and all the pieces coming to hit you in the head. Well, successful?
Yeah, I would say so.
Oh, your poor table. No. And you just built this, didn't you?
I just built that this morning.
Damn. That was a fun shoot.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, I learned something about shotguns because I haven't used shotguns all that much. What about you?
That was about what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
kind of step down with each new variation.
And it was enough difference that you could see A, how much shrapnel difference, and B, the fact that the last one didn't penetrate at all, and the buckshot only penetrated like a little bit, and then the slug just did not care.
And then the point blank, you saw how much force was actually.
Yeah.
So that breaking was the force coming out of the watermelon.
Yeah, because you can tell you didn't shoot it.
Right.
It was that concussive blast, the hydrostatic shock from just the watermelon splatting down, broke off 3 of those legs.
Yep.
All right, well, yeah, shotguns are fun. Like we said in the intro, we might be doing a ballistic head at some point, just kind of depends. So yeah, if you guys have any suggestions on something to shoot with a shotgun, types of shotguns, ammunition, we were thinking about Dragon's Breath at some point. Yeah, shoot us a comment, let us know what you think. Or if you just have a completely different idea, go ahead and let us know as well. Again, go ahead and follow us on social media. We've got our Patreon if you want to support us. And I think that's a wrap. That was pretty good.
I believe so. Yeah. I'm gonna go take a shower.
Okay, have fun with that. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next episode.